Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on BallySpring. So last episode, as you know, we got the silage all done, so that's all sorted out now, thank goodness. It's a good job out of the way. There's certainly a lot of bells to do, that's for sure. But I've just noticed now the grass fields have all got weeds again, which means try and spray them. So we'll get the sprayer on. Now this has got fertiliser in it, so I'll need to swap over to the herbicide, which is in these two IVCs here. I'll just put one in for now, I think, just to make sure, because we need to know it actually works. Hopefully this will work. I'm still not 100% sure what exactly was going on last time when I tried it, and it wasn't letting me kill the weeds, even though I was spraying them, so that was a bit weird. Let's see if it will work this time. So you can tell there's weeds in this field because you can see the lighter plants that are sticking up above the grass. So it's definitely got weeds, and I've looked on the map as well and it's showing green, which means there are weeds. So this should remove them, in theory, although it didn't seem to do it last time, so let's give it another go. Ah yes, there we go. It is removing them, that's good. So what I'll do then, I'll just get this done quickly. And I've also noticed our arable fields, there's one, that's the LINSEED, and the other one is the canola field, which is the one in front. They're both ready to harvest now, so that'll be the big job for today, I think, to get them harvested, or at least start them. I don't know whether we'll get all the harvesting done today in this episode, but most likely we won't. But we will we'll at least make a start on it. Of course, because I've got the spot spraying on, I'm not using as much herbicide as what I would normally be using, which is a nice saving, because herbicide is expensive. There we go, that's the small area done, and then now I'll go on to the larger grass field area, and I'll just do this one time lapse, I think. I've been having a think actually. Noticed that where the grass is longer, it hasn't killed the weeds, and where it's shorter, where it's still growing, it has killed the weeds. So obviously, I think last time I tried it, the reason it wasn't killing the weeds, and I think some people did mention this, so I think you're right about this, is because the grass was already too established or too fully grown to kill the weeds. You can only kill the weeds on grass in its early stages of growth, by the looks of it. So as soon as it gets to longer grass, like in that field there, it won't work. I think that's right, that's probably why it wasn't working. So I think I've got to the bottom of that now. I think there were quite a few comments that said that as well, so I'm pretty sure you're right about that. Obviously correct me if I'm wrong still, but I think that is the case. So yeah, it has to be short, very short grass to be able to kill the weeds, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you should be able to kill the weeds plus effort, but anyway, I think that's what's going on there. Right, so that's done. So the next job will be to start the harvest, I think. So we'll need to switch over to the combine, which is in the shed down here. Not the best way to go. Here we are. Here's the combine. So yep, we'll get that fired up and we'll start the harvest. This is exciting because it's our first proper harvest of fields that we've actually grown ourselves. So I've obviously drilled them and looked after them with fertiliser and herbicide. This is the first harvest, proper harvest that we've got. Shame we haven't got more fields, we've only got 2 arable fields at the moment. It would be nice to have another one, or at least another one, but at the moment that's all we've got. Possibly we will be able to buy another field to harvest in this season, but I'm not 100% sure whether we will be able to or not. just thinking actually I can get to the field this way, can't I? This is a good improvement I've made here. As long as I can get through this gateway here, this is the hardest bit. Just line up with this gateway. Now we don't have to mess around going around the back and everything, we can just go through here and then straight up through here where the fence used to be, and through this gateway we're at the field. It is a lot easier than before, and we have to go all the way around on those really tight roads as well. And now we're already at the field. It saved so much time. I think we own this bit of land, although it doesn't really have a use. I suppose we could mow it, possibly. It doesn't seem like the same type of grass though. It's probably more of a place to put an animal pen or something, I think. Drop the header off, unfold the combine, and we'll get the header put on and we'll start the linseed harvest. There we go. Right, I wonder how well this will yield. Hopefully we'll get a decent crop off it. We'll wait and see on that, to see how much we get. It's not a massive field, so I'm not obviously expecting to get loads and loads, but it's showing green on the mini-map, which means we're getting a good yield, which I should hope so too, because I've got a lot of work with these fields. I'd be a bit disappointed if we got a bad yield, because I've done pretty much everything I can to make sure that they're as good as they could be. The only thing I don't think I've done is the mulching. I didn't do the mulching before we drilled on the previous stubble, but that's a fairly minor increase on doing that, I think. I've done everything else that's normally required on precision farming, so yeah, hoping for some good yields here. I think the fact that it's already quarter full and we haven't even ended the first breed yet on the fields, yeah, that's looking quite positive. I think we're going to get some good yields off this field. We'll need to get the trailer to unload, but I should be able to get around the field once, I think, just about. Maybe not quite, but we'll get most of the way around the field, I think. Then I'll get a trailer so we can unload into that. This seems like a decent time to start another time lapse. Well, that's the field almost complete now. Got most of the harvest done on this linseed, and next we'll be moving on to the canola field. I was just wondering whether we could possibly make a cut through to that field as well, which would save us a lot of time going around on the road, especially for the combine, because the combine's not the easiest thing to transport around on these tight country lanes. So if we can just sort of make a hole in the hedge and make a new track through, that would be really helpful actually. Just turn around at the end of here and get this final pass done on the field, and then we'll be finished on the linseed anyway. Obviously this canola field is a lot bigger, so it's going to take a lot longer to do that. Like I said before, it would be nice to have a bit more land really, a few more arable fields if possible, but with the 44,000 in the bank, we'll probably a bit of a way off yet, realistically, but it would be nice. Something to aim for. Really would be nice to get one this harvest though. We could always take a loan. It is possible, so we can take a loan. It's not a survival series, so there's no rule against loans on this series. But obviously it will need to be paid back. Yeah, I think I'll just get the traction trailer. 91% full on this, so we're not going to fit it all in. Have to come back again to tip in the silo and then come back. That's actually really good. Over a full trailer load out of one field, a fairly small field as well. So I'm happy with that. And linseed I think is worth quite a reasonable amount as well, if you throw it at the right time. So very good. Happy with that. Right, so we'll go through the bottom gate, I think, would be easier, which is around here. This cuts out all those tight little tracks through the yard. And we can just back straight into the silo tipper. So tip trigger. Still those silage bales in the grass field need moving, but there's no rush for that. We can do that when we're not so busy with the harvest. Right, it's the linseed tipped. I don't know which is the best month to sell the linseed, but won't be now. It'll be probably in the winter, I'd have thought, as is usually the case with the most things like that. There we go, that's emptied, so we'll go back and get the final bit out of the combine. Yeah, I know the trailer wasn't 100% full, but there's no point just going to the combine to unload like, was it 9%? It's going to be at least, I would say, what would it be, 20% of the trailer that it's going to fill. I would have thought, to guess, but we'll find out. But then we'll look at making a cut through to the next field to avoid going all the way around the combine. Yeah, so the combine was almost 80% full, so yeah, it's going to definitely fill this trailer quite a bit. More than 20%, that's for sure. What would it be? 30-something%? No, 25%. Well, that's still better than I thought, so that's good. Yeah, so we've got almost 6,000 litres there. So we'll just go and tip this in the silo as well, and then we will move on to the next field. In the next field I'll probably just do the headlands with the combine. I won't do the whole field myself, and then probably get the help to take over for a bit. Because it is, although it's a reasonable sized combine, it's certainly not the biggest combine in the world, and it's going to still take a while. Oops, the front loader, if you have it too low you tend to crash into things. Right, so let's get this last little bit tipped out. I'm still not sure yet what to do with this yard. Haven't read the comments from the previous video yet because it's not gone out, so waiting for your thoughts on that, but I'm sure this one here on the right could probably move or put something better there. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll see. Okay, so where's this other field then? Oh, we've got, oh, here we go, there's a gate already there, that's good. So what we could do is, from this gateway here, just make another gateway, or just an opening in the hedge here, and then we can just go straight through. That would be good. As long as we can remove it, should do. Just find the spot where you can cut. Hopefully it can be removed. Not seeing it yet. I'm sure it will. All the other hedges seem to be... oh, there we go. Got one. I just saw it then. There it is. There we go. It's quite a small opening, but yeah, we'll have to widen that a bit. Looks like the trigger's higher up then. It's quite high. Got a bit of it removed. Oh. Something went there, I don't know. It's really hard to see because of all the foliage and stuff. But yeah, definitely can be removed. It's just, say, finding that trigger to get it to cut. There, saw it. There we go. Now I've got a nice wide opening. I will probably just do a bit of landscaping as well. Oh, is there anything in the sail? Oh wow, it's quite a lot of stuff. Some rolls, although I think we've already got wider ones than that. Only 6 metres, 6.2. Cultivate, wow, 71% off the cultivator, that's good. But 250 horsepower, well, we probably could pull that with the Fendt, but we don't have a planter yet, so we don't really need a cultivator. Our drill can do direct drilling, I think, so. Yeah, it's a good deal though, 71% off. And that one's 64% off. That one's 68%, so yeah, there's a few good deals there. But right, back to what we were doing. We were doing some landscaping, just to make sort of more obvious the gateway really. So should we do gravel? If we can. Where is it? Saying I don't own the land. That's weird. I do own the land. Maybe don't own the road. That's strange. It's helped a bit. There we go. Apparently we don't own the road. Never mind. Right, so we've got a gateway. Don't want to put the tractor in the way though, because the combine needs to come through first. So I'll just move the tractor back again, and then get the combine. Okay, here we are with the combine. So I've obviously taken the header off and put it on the trailer because we're not going to fit through with the header still attached. So what we're going to do here then, this is where the problem's coming, because we might have to drive in the crop. Did I turn crop destruction off? Possibly. For this exact reason, because otherwise it's impossible to get into the fields without damaging loads of the crop. I don't like doing this, but in real life you do have to do this a bit. You have to drive the combine onto the crop to get the headers on sometimes in the UK because there's not enough space. Some fields do have little grass areas that you can use in the corners, but a lot of the time you do have to take the combine through the crop slightly to be able to put the header on. So if you don't know the UK, it's very, very tight. A lot of the fields and the roads in the countryside are very tight. The entrances, the gateways. You'd never fit large agricultural machinery through without taking the headers off and then putting them back on in the fields. Anyway, there we are. We're in the field and we'll put the header on. And we'll go around the headlands first. Once the headlands are done, the helper can take over, I think, for a bit. So this is the canola field, obviously. So it's very realistic. Definitely the only map I've seen so far, I think, on FS22, which has had completely different textures and sort of field crop type changes. Definitely looks different, and definitely for the better as well. It's very realistic. I like this map a lot. It's realistic. Look at that view as well in the valley. It's nice. Very good map. So if you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend BallySpring. It's an Ireland map, but it's very similar to the UK. I know I keep saying the UK. It is an island, but Ireland and the United Kingdom are very similar countries really in terms of climate and the countryside. It's very similar. Anyway, I think we'll time lapse this for a bit. the harvest is going quite well. The helper's obviously taken over now, and he's doing they're doing the main bit. I'm just thinking about fertiliser. I noticed that where we did the slurry on the grass field, it still doesn't need any more fertiliser. It's still fine. But the bit where we didn't do the slurry, that does need some more. I think it looks like it needs some more anyway. So we might just put some slurry on that bit there. That would be quite a good idea, I think. So the slurry spreader is here. Get that filled up. There's 40,000 litres in the slurry pit, so plenty to do that area. It's like I said, we're not doing the whole of the grass field because it looks like it doesn't need it, but just that one area which we didn't do, that obviously does still need some. The cows soon are going to need some more feed by the looks of it as well. We've got 19,000 litres of TMR and 1,000 litres of silage. The silage isn't quite ready, or at least it wasn't when I last checked, but that soon will be ready, so we'll be able to give them some silage. They don't need TMR until 27 months, 24 at the moment, so yeah, that's not needed. But we're just going to slurry spread this area. That field can be done as well, probably not today, that can be another time. But for now we'll just do this grass field. Need to make sure the combine doesn't get full as well. So the grass field needs it, it's just the bigger one here. Now it shows on the mini map, look, you can see. So we'll go down to this bit and then work our way back up the hill. It's around about here, I think. Don't want to overlap too much. There we go. Should be better, right, I think. So we'll run at that angle, and I'll put the GPS on and set the width. There we go, that's GPS set up. We have actually gone over the bit slightly, not the end of the world though. And then we'll turn around and come back again on the GPS. So yeah, obviously doing that slurry, even though it didn't supposed to need it, it actually has helped because now the grass field, most of it doesn't need fertiliser. Just this one area that we didn't do needs fertiliser now after a cut. So it wasn't a total waste of time. It saved us from doing it now, otherwise we'd have had to do it now. A few people say that if you over fertilise the grass you get a lower yield, but in my experience, I'm not saying this is right, but in my experience it doesn't seem to matter too much. In fact, if anything, it's actually helped because it means we don't have to double fertilise. We need to do this area, really. We don't need to do any more, so yeah, it doesn't seem to make a difference on grass fields. Can't speak for arable, maybe if you over fertilise the arable crops, maybe that's not good, I don't know. But it did say that the nitrogen was perfect, so yeah, that was all I can say really. It doesn't seem to matter too much. Ah, now the combine's nearly full. Which end of the field is it at? Right, it's just turning around now, so that's perfect timing. I will unload the combine once I get to the end of here. There we go, so that's the slurry spreading done. And switch quickly back to the tractor and trailer. We'll try and get the combine unloaded before it gets full. This is again filling up quite quickly because this is a nice yield on this canola. So we're going to make some decent money when we sell these crops, which will be November, December I would have thought, somewhere around there. There we go, just about made that thing. Brilliant. So I think that'll probably be the end of today's video. I know we've sort of not finished the harvest, but I don't want to spend the entire episode doing the harvest and then not have much to do next episode, so I think this is probably a good place to leave it. We're just over halfway through the field. So yeah, we've done pretty well there. I didn't think we'd get the whole harvest finished today anyway. It's unloaded now, so there we go, that's done. So yeah, I'll see you again in the next one where we'll be continuing the harvest and we're doing some other jobs as well. So I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.